Hallo mijn studenten, hoe gaat het? How are you? Make sure you're drinking enough water today because today we're finally doing the Dutch pronunciation series. Yay! Today we are talking about, why is my shirt being so weird? It's because I cut it myself, I think. Today we are talking about the R sound. So what I've noticed is that there's a lot of confusion about the R sound in Dutch, and I just wanted to make sure to clear up all of the issues around the R sound. So we're going to start this video off with a little bit of an explanation. After that, we'll have like a few exercises and a recap for anyone who needs it. So in Dutch, we basically use 3 types of R's. Now, let me explain a little bit more. When the R is followed by a vowel, such as E, A, I, U, O, those are all the vowels, right? I'm a language teacher, I should know this. When the R is followed by a vowel, we have a tendency to use either the French R or the Spanish R. I believe, I'm not sure about this, but I believe that we all started out using the French R, the R, which is not the rolling R. It's the French R, which is situated right here in your throat, the R. I believe we started out with using the French R, but there were just so many immigrants from like other places that the Spanish R, the R, which is the rolling R because you're rolling your tongue, that the Spanish R has become more popular and used more often. A lot of Dutch people wouldn't know the difference. I didn't know the difference until I moved to Poland, and everyone kept saying that I was mispronouncing things. And I was like, but I don't understand. And I kept using R, and like my Polish friends were all like, no. So then I learned how to do the Spanish R, R. It's also the Polish R, the Russian R. Like it's many R's, but like it's just easier to assign names to them. Okay, so when the R is followed by a vowel, we will use either the French or the Spanish R. It doesn't matter, okay? So you get words like, for example, restaurant, which can be pronounced like this, or it can be pronounced restaurant. Raam can be raam. If you're not hearing the difference, that is totally fine. No Dutch person will care. It's just about how you pronounce it. So I don't want to hear restaurant. That is incorrect. So let's talk about the third type of R. When the R is at the end of a word, we can use the English R to make it easier. So that's either when the R is at the end of the word or when the R is followed by a consonant. For example, the word maar, the R is at the end of the word. When I say maar, at the very least, it sounds like the English R because it's at the end of the word. We can also do it when the R is followed by a consonant. For example, for the word werk, also for me, it sounds like the English R. There are some Dutch people who go through the effort of pronouncing this either with the French or Spanish R. So people can say maar or maar. People can say werk or werk. Even I do that occasionally when I feel like adding some flair to my language, I don't know. And I've had some students that feel more comfortable with consistency, so they consistently want to use the same R, which is completely fine. It's all fine, actually. It's all good, as long as you don't pronounce restaurant. So if you don't use the English R when the R is followed by a vowel. That is very important. So whether you want to use the Spanish, the French, or the English R at the end of a word does not matter. It really depends on what your preference is, if you need consistency, or if you're a lazy mother effer like I am. Okay, so if you already know how to do either the French or the Spanish R, then you're good. You know how to pronounce stuff now. Congratulations. The rest of this video is not for you. The rest of this video is for people who have never learned either the French or the Spanish R. So this is for people from the USA, from Australia, from China. I've had a lot of students from China that needed to practice with the R. So this video is for you. Now, from my experience, I've learned that the French R is usually the easiest, especially for my students from the USA or Australia. So that's why we're going to start with the French R today. After this, I will discuss the Spanish R. But you can click in the timestamp in the comments for the Spanish R if that's what you're more interested in. I would say try both out, try both of my exercises out and see which one is easier for you. In the comments, I will also have some links to like other YouTube videos that I like, in which you can do more exercises related to either the French R or the Spanish R. So for the French R, what is very, very important is the placement of your tongue. So with the Spanish R, like I said, you're rolling your tongue, so it's going to be in the front of your mouth. You're going to go rrr, and it's right here. With the English R, we pull our tongue back. So you go rrr, and you feel that like backwards pull. I want your tongue to do nothing. Very important is it's not going to feel like an R. That's what a lot of my students say. It's not going to feel like an R. So any ideas of what an R is, the entire like concept of R, get rid of that. Like whatever is in your mind, it's not happening. It's not the same letter anymore. It's pronounced completely differently. Okay, so your tongue is going to be pretty passively in your mouth. It's not going to be pulled back or pulled forward. But an exercise that I like to do for those who have a tendency to pull their tongue back, for the English R, the R, is to actually completely stick your tongue out. So I want you to completely stick your tongue out to make sure that your tongue is passive. All right? So you're gonna stick your tongue out and then you're gonna go what you should be feeling is sort of this like place above like your Adam's apple, or where your Adam's apple would be, moving up. Okay? And this is the reason why I really like that sticking out of the tongue idea. You want to go all the way just to make sure that you're not moving your tongue at all. So this is a really good exercise just to get that muscle going. What is very important to know is that it's not like the Dutch G where you go the Dutch G is higher up in the throat. So for the R, you want to reach deeper into your throat and you really want to feel this area move up. One of my students actually said that it really helped for her to think about snoring. So when you're snoring, it's also an exercise that you can try. When you're snoring, you go and that's basically the same place. I don't want you to open your mouth in the same way as you would with snoring, but it is in the same place, definitely. So you can go, and that's where it is. So if these exercises work for you, if you're like, yay, I can French R now, try to practice it a little bit more. This is like going to the gym, right? This is a muscle that you have to train. It has to get stuck in your muscle memory. So try to practice it as much as you can. You can walk around the house, doing your dishes, going, or if you're in the Netherlands, ride your bicycle around town and go. Once you feel like you've trained this enough, you are able to say stuff, you can practice combining it with a few vowels. You can go ra, ro, ru, ru. I don't know. Make up your own vowels. And from there, after that, you can start practicing words. So you can go raam, restaurant, for example. All right, if you need any more videos, I have a few links in my description to videos where you can really practice the French R a little bit more. If this exercise hasn't worked for you, then let's discuss the Spanish R now and see how that goes. All right, so I hope we're all ready for the Spanish R. Like I said, the Spanish R, the R, also the rolling R, is a type of R that I have had to learn myself because I wanted my Polish friends to stop making fun of me. So I have some experience in learning this R. All right, what I think is very important with this R is that you have your tongue in the right place. I would like to explain something to you on like the physics of like how this is working. So imagine this is like the roof of your mouth and these are your upper teeth. And this right here is your tongue. You're making sure that your tongue is in the correct place. So your tongue is right here. This place is sort of where you would say hada, hada. It's that place. So it's just in front of your upper teeth. Hada, hada. And if you try to say it fast, you'll be creating a similar movement as when you are pronouncing the Spanish R. So you can try to go like this, hada, 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 just to practice that like tongue placement there. All right, so you're there, you go hada, 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 hada. That's exactly where your tongue is going to be. All right, so your tongue is in the right place. It is like right here, like I was saying, at the hada, hada, hada place, right? Your tongue is in the right place. What you're gonna do now is you're going to combine this tongue placement with breathing out like this. So one of the reasons this R is so difficult, and one of the reasons it's also difficult for me, is that I have to consciously think of breathing out while doing this. And this is not something that is required with the either the Spanish R or the English R, because you just go, you're not like, you're not breathing out like this. So this is very important to know. So you're creating that same movement and sound as sort of like a clattering door or window. So you get that like, so this is something that you really want to keep in mind. Your tongue is in the right place. Your tongue is right here, hada, hada, hada. Make sure that it is in the right place. And then you're going to combine this with breathing. So you're going to go, and you'll feel that like clattering of your tongue like you would with like a window or a door. You're making sure that your breath is going over your tongue. So it's going to be in between your tongue and the roof of your mouth and not under your tongue. So that is very important. So you get that like over here. So if your tongue is too far up, you'll get, right? If your tongue is too far down, you'll get, right? So you want to have it in the correct place. All right, so if you're feeling more comfortable with the r, try to practice it again going around the house. So doing your dishes, you're gonna go r, riding your bicycle in the Netherlands, you're gonna go r, and then slowly you can start practicing it with more sound. So you can go ra, ro, re, and at some point, you'll be able to start doing it with words. So you can go restaurant or ram. If you feel like this explanation is not enough and you need some more exercises, there are more links in the description to practicing either the Spanish R or the French R. Okay, so that's it. We talked about all of the R's and we did some exercises and I hope they went well. Please let me know how it went in the comments. Let me know which R is easier for you. Let me know if you have any questions or existential crises. If you want to book a class, the link is in the description to my italki profile. And don't forget to subscribe because that's how I know that you love me. Thank you all for watching and see you next time. Bedankt en tot ziens. Doei!